And up first will be Pete Weber.
And a soft 10 from Pete Weber in the opening shot. Made a good shot, just couldn't get the 6 pin. Couldn't get that 6 pin to bounce back out and get the 10 out. Hard and straight at the spare, and no problem for Pete Weber.
So Pete Weber starts things out with a spare in frame number 1 of our shootout round. Next up, left-hander Mike-Aulby.
And the always opportunistic Mike-Aulby. I look for him to be very, very tough in this match. And virtually the same hit for the left-handers that Pete Weber had on the right side.
And of course for the lefties, Marshall, it would be a 7. For the righties, the 10 pin.
We'll see a few of those today. And once again, I believe the heavier wood is going to play a part in those corner pins. And he's out of the gate with a spare as well.
So our second bowler in the shootout round, Mike-Aulby matching Pete Weber, both with spares in frame number 1. Dennis-Horan Jr., he has been hot, and he's up next.
Well, he really, really bowled great yesterday in the first 8 games of match play to get himself in position. He starts out with a power strike.
Dennis-Horan with a 300 game yesterday on Friday, and also a couple of 290s.
Remember, only the high score advances to our next match. Pete Weber in the second frame. Something distracted him, but the pins are falling. And we'll take a look. Take a look at the 4 pin. It's going to get knocked down. I believe it's going to be going down slowly. Pete was distracted, but not enough to change his chances of striking.
Well, Marshall, that's our CBS MacCam, named after John McEnroe for obvious reasons. It was used on the lines for all those tight line calls at the U.S. Open. Here's Mike-Aulby.
And success for Mike-Aulby in the second frame. You may have noticed Pete Weber was distracted. He said there was a flash that was sent off. No flash cameras allowed. Somebody wasn't listening earlier.
And now Dennis-Horan, who started things out in the first with a strike.
This to take an early 10-pin lead over Aulby and Weber. Gotta hurry. And he comes in light. And leaves the difficult spare. He's got the 2, 5, and 6. A lot of ways to make it, but certainly a lot of ways to miss it as well.
And Marshall, Dennis converts the spare in frame number 2. And we'll be moving along to the 3rd frame in our shootout round of today's Touring Players Championship.
And everything is dead even right now. Advantage for Weber and Aulby working on strikes. And a terrible break for Pete Weber. Ball driving, not quite able to get out the 9-pin. We'll take a look, watch the ball as it comes through. It's going to drive straight through and go past the 9-pin.
And Pete will convert in frame number 3. So starts it out with a couple of spares and a strike for Pete Weber, and Mike-Aulby will try his luck in frame number 3.
Mike-Aulby with the opportunity to take an early lead of 10 pins. You see Mike's average for the week. Great concentration for this man from Indianapolis. And an early 10-pin lead. And we'll take a look at a shot of Mike-Aulby. Watch the way the ball drives to the right, hitting the 5-pin. taking care of the pins, and a great reaction from Mike. Dennis-Horan on lane 27. He struck both times there.
Well, we've got more coming up from Akron in just a moment.
CBS Sports Spectacular presents the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship. Sponsored by Brunswick. Line up with the perfect lineup, only from
Seibel and Marshall Holman back here in Akron, Ohio at the Touring Players Championship. Well, time now to take a look at our Alka-Seltzer Friday night recap. And as we mentioned, Dennis-Horan Jr., a great day on Friday. 300 game, couple in the 290s, moving from 17th to 4th yesterday to get himself into today's television round.
Certainly was the moment for him yesterday, was able to capitalize. We see him here today. Now we have Pete Weber working on a spare. He left that very, very bad break, solid 9 in the 3rd frame. Trying to get back on track. And I've seen it very, very many times coming out of commercial. A little tentative, got a little slow, and now he's left with a difficult 3-4-10 split. Can be made, but a tough one.
Marshall, we have 3 lefties, and Pete Weber being the only righty here. Is that an advantage for Pete?
Well, I thought it was until he threw that last shot, Gary. Very close, but it's only going to be 9 out for Pete Weber, and that really puts him in a very, very difficult position right now.
Well, Pete could not convert in frame number 4. Last year, he became only the 2nd player in PBA history to go over $2 million in earnings, along with Walter Ray Williams Jr. Here's Mike-Aulby.
Going for 3 in a row on lane 27. Aulby making a statement early.
And so at this juncture, Aulby up now by 20 pins over Weber and Horan. And here is Dennis-Horan Jr.
Horan working on a strike, Gary. Can cut into Aulby's lead and needs it. And right now, nothing going the way of Weber or Horan, and Aulby is looking in very, very good shape, but still early in the match.
Like you, Marshall, an avid golfer. Carries a 7 handicap, does Dennis-Horan Jr.
Played a little golf with Dennis.
And just gets it in the 4th, Dennis-Horan Jr. Crowd chanting for Weber, and he answers and comes through for the folks here at Stonehedge Family Fun Center. Touring Players Championship. Pete, an intense individual. Our TV pair today, lanes 27 and 28. Left-hander Mike-Aulby up on lane 28. 3 strikes in a row, looking for a 4-bagger. All right now we're going down to Marshall Holman. Marshall?
Okay, with me, Parker Bowe in the 3rd. Parker, first of all, how do you like this new format?
It looks like it's pretty exciting so far. You got 3 guys really going neck and neck out there.
Well, I thought it might be the right-hander Pete Weber, but right now it looks like it could be you and Mike-Aulby. You've bowled him before for this title.
Yeah, I sure have. I'm actually looking for a little reminiscence here, and I owe him one.
All right, well, good luck to you, Parker.
Thanks.
Gary, back to you.
Well, all 3 of our bowlers in the shootout round came up with strikes in frame number 5, but Mike-Aulby still with a 30-pin advantage as Pete Weber stands on the approach for the 6th. And we'll take a look at Pete's reaction.
And he did it.
Just 1 standing.
Excuse me, Gary, he did it again. He left the solid 9, and that really has been trouble for Pete Weber. He throws such a powerful ball, sometimes too much power, even on these heavier pins.
Well, converts the spare in the 6th, but still Mike-Aulby with the lead. Mike working on a 4-bagger up by 30 pins.
30 pins on Horan, 44 on Pete Weber. And he gets the very, very friendly roll of the 7-pin.